Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Alright, in this video I'm going to go over a problem regarding k-means clustering using the Orange program. In this problem we're going to be using housing market dataset. So we're going to apply Orange to do k-means clustering using 12 clusters. We have the variables over here. So we have simply 3 questions over here to go over. I just changed that one. Your question, maybe you're working on this problem, you may have different numbers, but I changed this to 12. Let's make this 7. Right, we can just do it 8. And then we can use it 12 clusters, 12 clusters. Okay. So I'm going to go over this one on Orange and then answer these questions. So number one, the file, you can upload the file over here and upload. You double click on it and then you choose the file from here. You can just click on the folder. I do it on Mac, and you're just going to be using this market data, housing market data. We have that already in there, and then and that's it. And then you see there like 120 kind of rows and 5 features over here. Next one, you can do like a little data table to see how it looks like. Here we go. It's land value, building value, acres, age, and price. All that's given in here. So next, we're going to create the clusters. So I'm going to go over the clusters. I need to look at the k-means here. Click on K. K-means cluster. And in here, what you need to do is you need to start this 2 and go up to the number of clusters that you're working with. So 2 is like the minimum. It's kind of like clustering means you're kind of grouping them based on similar numbers. So for example, if this is 10 for you, then you're going to click on 10 and run that one. One thing that I want you to be careful, this is by default it's 10. That's going to be that's going to give you different answers, but by default in our textbook what we use is like 100. So apply that to be 100. This is for 10. It's running right now. Then it's going to give you all these silhouette scores. If it's 12, and like in my problem, I run that one and give me silhouette scores for both. So silhouette score really determines how well those boundaries are cut when you divide them into groups. As you see in this one, the higher silhouette scores means a better grouping. 2 is the best one. It just kind of goes down. At 5, it just starts to go up. 6, it goes up and then again goes down. So in this one, in original research, you may go with 5, 6, but I can say in this one, the best one among this list is 2. All right, that's the best number. So that's what we have. It says, what was our problem? It says if it's 8 clusters, the number of the silhouette score that we got will be 0.354. It's going to be here. I'm sorry, let me just write it this way, 0.354. Right, that's what I got. So next one, the problem tells you that using 12 clusters, be careful. This kind of like if it's 10, choose 10, but starting point is 12, so you have to keep it in there. Find the smallest number of clusters. So it's kind of like it divides it into groups, right? In total, you have 120 homes. Those are divided into groups. That's going to give you kind of like how many you have in each cluster. Like cluster 1 may have 10, the second one may have 3. In the scatter plot, you can see that as well. But in the scatter plot, you can see that as well. But in here, I'm going to show you how you find it using group by. But don't forget, here you have to choose 12. You have to choose 12. You have to just make sure that you got like 12 clusters over here. And then we're going to go over here. We're going to go to group by. That's just one way to count that, group by. And then in the group by section, we're going to choose the cluster here. Split is like 118. All that goes like different numbers, but cluster will give you 12 because you have 12 groups. Make sure this cluster part is chosen to be count because I want to see how many members or how many data values I have in each cluster, in each group. And then I click on this one. If you look at the list, it tells you that this total is like 120. So it tells you here which clusters have the minimum according to 12 clusters. It's second one, sixth one, and the 11th one. So it's like 2, 6, and 11. For this one, I put 2, 6, 11. If this is 10, it might be different. If it's 15, it might be different. But right now, based on that one, as you can see, once I click on this, I can see the count, cluster count. That's the age mean, acres mean for each cluster, but this is the cluster count. So it's like cluster 11, cluster 6, and cluster 2, based on my example. Yours might be different, just work that out. And then the last one, it says you have one observation. It's like an outlier upper right corner with 12 clusters again, building value being the Y value, price being the X value. Can you find which cluster that data value belongs to? So I'm going to go again here, and then I'm going to create a scatter plot. In the scatter plot, something important, please make sure you choose here price, for while you choose building value. You see that's like all different colors. It's really hard to see though. For example, hard to see like, hey, when I have the other ones, when it's one, even it's not like showing over here. Maybe like you make it bigger. It's showing? No. Yeah. So that's like we choose a big number of clusters, so you may not just see that over here, the number of them, but you know, like it's kind of give you, if you go over any data point, it tells you which cluster it belongs to. Anyways, here I choose the cluster to just choose them with different colors. As you look at this one at the right top, if you just wait on it, it's going to tell you that it belongs to cluster 6. Can you see that? That outlier belongs to cluster 6. So, that's kind of what we have. What about this one? That one belongs to cluster 2. And those are like, only one of them is not listed in there. It just shows as other for those 3, because it's like the minimum number in there. But yeah, so this one belongs to cluster 6. You can just write it in here. It belongs to cluster 6. So that's a good example of just kind of like going through a k-means problem in Orange. I hope this helps. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.